Pam calls. They're making South Park into a movie, and Trey and Matt asked me to write it with them, and I told them that I would only do it if everything was split fairly, and now I think they're trying to fuck me over on my deal. Their lawyer won't give my lawyer their contracts. Hadn't she just killed sending out BK Lounge because she didn't want to be perceived in the feature world as being in a writing partnership? I'm scrambling to make excuses for her, but I feel kind of sick. Oh, fuckers. Let's see. She killed sending out a script we had written from scratch together because she didn't want to be perceived in the feature world as being in a writing partnership. And here she is entering a writing partnership in the feature world on something other people have created. My perception of her, it just seems so weird. We've known each other since freshman year. I take her at face value when she says she doesn't want to be a screenwriter. Hurtful though it is, I take her at face value when she says she doesn't want to be in a writing partnership. If she wants to be in a writing partnership with Trey and Matt and not with me, then okay. But doesn't she need to do that in a way that makes sure our friendship is still solid? But she doesn't seem to think I'll have any reaction to her other than to be there for her as a supportive friend while she bitches about feeling ripped off. While unreliable and uncaring are old labels for Pam, self-oblivious is a new one. Am I now adding opportunist to the list? I am in a tailspin. Here are certain facts. Here is my perception of a person. I'm having a really hard time and working really hard to try to squeeze the two together. Because it's one thing to have the unreliable and uncaring parts of Pam, but this is like an eradication of my existence in a way. I mean, I don't exist for her as a person. Whatever happened a few weeks ago with BK Lounge is old news, forgotten, with zero impact. It's as if she thinks she's talking to someone totally disconnected from the situation. Hide it. Be supportive. Yeah, that blows. After my conversation with Matoyan, things went about as normal. He told me he'd have to think about what to do with me, but nothing happened. The sort of fun, insulting banter had gone from our relationship to be replaced by genuine hurt on his part, and he kind of avoided me. When I was in 8th grade, we read Edith Hamilton's book on the Greco-Roman gods and mythologies, and there was something about the story of Pandora's box that I never understood. So basically, Pandora has this box with all the world's evils trapped inside, and she was never supposed to open it. Only she did, and all the evils escaped into the world. But the good news was that hope was left locked up inside. I didn't get it. It's not like the evils had escaped into the world and dissipated. They were here, surrounding us. What was the upside of keeping hope in the box? Wouldn't we want to let hope out too so that we could stave off the demons of fear, uncertainty, self-loathing, the things we did battle with that attacked us every day? What good was hope left locked up in the box? Because in a world without hope, all you're left with is the knowledge, the fear, that when you open that box, you'll find there's nothing inside. I go out of town on vacation, and when I come back on a Sunday, there's a message on my machine from Pam, and I realize I can't fake it one day more. I decide, instead of calling her back, I'm just going to go over to her house right now and confront her. This will be it. I don't want to call because if I call, she'll want to know why I want to come over, and I don't want to have this conversation with her on the phone. I have no idea what I'm going to say to Pam. My thoughts and feelings, when I imagine constructing them into sentences, seem to be really petty. You're a bad friend. I mean, the night you blew me off with Tychus, the thing with the script. Fuck it, I just have to do something. I pull my sneaks on and I'm halfway out the door when I decide to hold off a few minutes and call my friend Enid to do a kind of dry run on the conversation before having the real deal with Pam. As I'm talking to Enid, everything falls apart. My words are fake and forced. My idea of Pam's reactions, where I tell her my thoughts and feelings, and she goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I had no idea," is total crap. Well, if Pam's so awful, why are you even trying to stay in a relationship with her anyway? She's not awful all the time. It's just this thing has been growing between us, and I need to make her aware of it so she can change. You're a smart rat. What does that mean? You think you're making free choices, but you are a rat in a cage. What's the cage that I'm trying to preserve my friendship with Pam? You're miserable with Pam. You're miserable at work. There's a common denominator here. You. Those are two totally different circumstances. You are a rat in a cage. When I hang up from Enid, I feel dizzy. All these years later, and nothing has changed. I know from my fight with Pam junior year, from her thing with Trey, that confrontation with Pam means the end of the relationship with Pam. Yet here I am, heading over to her house to confront her. Nothing has changed. And I am in the exact same black and white situation with Pam that I was with my old boss Richard all those years ago. Express my feelings and lose the relationship, or repress them and keep it. And when push came to shove, I did to Matoyan exactly what I'd done to Richard, preyed on his weaknesses. My emotional hugging, my so-called change, is bullshit. I have changed nothing, and via my conversation with Matoyan, have been stripped of the pleasant lie that I am even capable of change. It's Tuesday, so I have to call Pam back because I usually get back to her pretty quickly and she'll begin to notice. But I am out of tricks. So I decide I'm going to call right before lunch. That way she'll be out and I'll get her machine and I can leave a message and buy myself some time to think. She picks up.